What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Dark Magician of Chaos deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this to you guys because this deck was actually suggested to me by one of my patrons, Braxton. And this deck is an awesome deck based around the old school Dark Magician of Chaos, which is an awesome boss monster that this deck turbos out extremely easily. I'm super excited to show you guys this list, so without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of Notification Squad, and definitely check out the Patreon on the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name description in a single video, getting signed cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. And definitely give Braxton some love down in the comments down below for suggesting such an awesome deck. So let's get straight on into this, guys. So first off, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Dark Magician of Chaos. You only really need 2 copies of this card because it's so easy to bring this card out to your side of the field in this particular build, and it has the ability that during the end phase, if this card was normal or special summon, this turn you can target a spell card in your graveyard and add it back to your hand, which is a great effect to be able to use to be able to grab some really powerhouse spell cards that we're playing in this deck and be able to use them again by grabbing them back out of the graveyard with this card's effect. It also has the ability, if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, after damage calculation, banish that opponent's monster, and if this card would leave the field, you banish it instead. We then play just 2 copies of Dark Magician. Dark Magician is a really good 2-of in this deck, but you only really need 2 copies of this card in the build. It's a key combo piece in the build and the ultimate wizard in terms of attack and defense. We then play a single copy of Red Eyes Black Dragon. Red Eyes Black Dragon is a definite 1-of in this build to help us step into our copies of our fusion monsters like Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, so this card is a definite 1-of in the deck. We're then playing a single copy of Dark Magician Girl. Dark Magician Girl is a really good 1-of combo piece in the deck to be able to use with a bunch of different cards, so this card is a definite 1-of in the build. We're then playing a single copy of Timaeus the United Dragon. This card is basically walking polymerization, which is amazing about this card, so it helps you go into a bunch of different plays. This card lets you send a spellcaster monster or a spell or trap that mentions Dark Magician from your hand or face up from field to the graveyard, and then special summon this card from your hand. And then during your main phase, you can fusion summon a fusion monster from your X deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material, including a spellcaster monster, which is an amazing effect for this card to have. We then play 3 copies of Magician's Rod. Magician's Rod is the best normal summon in the entire deck, and this card is awesome as a 3-of in this build. You can actually search out a card that turbos out your copy of Dark Magician of Chaos in the form of Dedication through Light and Darkness, which is amazing for this card to be able to do, and it's really great to use this card as a normal summon in the deck. If you have access to this card and Magician's Souls in the same hand, you can get your copy of Dark Magician of Chaos onto your side of the field by normaling this card to your side of the field and grabbing Dedication through Light and Darkness, and then using the effect of Magician's Souls to actually put Dark Magician on your side of the field off its effects, then activating Dedication through Light and Dark to summon out Dark Magician of Chaos, which is an amazing effect to be able to use in the deck. We then play 3 copies of Magician's Souls. Magician's Souls is a definite 3-of in this build and is great to help you get Dark Magician on your side of the field, but this card has some awesome effects that you can send up to 2 spells or traps from your hand or field to the graveyard and then draw that many cards, and if this card's in your hand, you can use one of these 2 awesome effects that you can send a level 6 or higher spellcaster monster from your deck to the graveyard to activate one of these 2 awesome effects. Either special summon out this card or send this card to the graveyard and actually special summon out Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl from your graveyard, which is a great effect to instantly get Dark Magician on your side of the field off this effect, so you can summon out your copy of Dark Magician of Chaos. We then play 2 copies of Illusion of Chaos. Illusion of Chaos is a definite 2-of in the build. You can actually search a bunch of different cards in this deck, so this card is a definite 2-of in the deck. You can reveal this card in your hand and then add a Dark Magician or a non-ritual monster that mentions it from your deck to your hand, and then place a card from your hand on the top of your deck, which is an awesome effect to be able to use with this card. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start off with a single copy of Terraforming. Terraforming is a definite 1 of the decks. We actually play 2 really awesome spells that we can use in this deck. We then play a single copy of Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn is a definite one in the deck to be able to bring back a monster from your graveyard. We then play a single copy of Change of Heart. Change of Heart is awesome in this deck because you can actually take control of an opponent's monster, which is a great effect to be able to use, and with Dark Magician of Chaos, you can add any of these powerhouse spells back to your hand, which is great about that card. We then play a single copy of Dark Magic Attack. This card is essentially Harpy's Feather Duster, but it's searchable, so this card is a definite one of the deck. The only requirement for this card is you have to control Dark Magician when you activate this card, and then you destroy all spells and traps your opponent controls, which is a great effect to be able to use. We then play a single copy of Chaos Scepter Blast. Chaos Scepter Blast is Dark Magician of Chaos's actual attack, and this card is great to play as a one-of in the build because if you control a level 8 or higher spellcaster monster, you can banish one card on the field face down. And if this card in its owner's spell and trap card zone is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon out a Magician of Black Chaos or a Dark Magician of Chaos from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions, which we're only ever going to summon out Dark Magician of Chaos off this card's effect. We then play a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is a definite one of the deck just to stop your opponent from hand trapping you while you're going in for all of your plays. We then play a single copy of Secrets of Dark Magic. This card is an awesome one of the deck. It's actually a fusion spell for Dark Magician and a ritual spell to summon out Illusion of Chaos, so this card is great as a one of the deck. We're never using this card for the ritual summon effect, but fusing is awesome in this deck. We then play a single copy of Magicalized Fusion. Magicalized Fusion is basically the miracle fusion for the deck. It lets you fusion summon a spellcaster monster from your X deck by banishing the fusion materials from your field or graveyard, which is a great effect to help you step into some really powerful monsters. And then play a single copy of Secret Villages of the Spellcaster. Secret Village of the Spellcaster is awesome as a one of the deck, as it can completely lock down your opponent from activating spell cards, and that's really good in this deck, because if only you control a spellcaster monster, your opponent cannot activate spell cards, and if you control no spellcaster, then you can't activate spell cards, but that's totally fine, because it's super easy to get a spellcaster on the field in this deck. We then play a single copy of Magician's Salvation. Magician's Salvation is great because when you activate this card, you can send an Eternal Soul directly from your deck to your side of the field, and if you normally special summon Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, then you can target one of those monsters and then special summon Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl from your graveyard with a different name than the targeted monster, which is great because if you summon out Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, you get the other one to your side of the field, which is a great effect. We then play two copies of Dedication Through Light and Darkness. This is the main way that we're going to be actually summoning out our copy of Dark Magician of Chaos. And this card is so good in the deck combo with your copy of Eternal Soul, because you can bring back your copy of Dark Magician back from the graveyard extremely easily with your copy of Eternal Soul, making this card almost free, which is amazing. This card lets you tribute a Dark Magician to special summon Dark Magician of Chaos from your hand, deck, or graveyard, which is an awesome effect to be able to use just to instantly get your copy of Dark Magician of Chaos onto your side of the field. We then play two copies of Dark Magical Circle. This card is basically Pot of Duality for the deck, which is amazing because it has the ability when this card is activated, you look at the top three cards of your deck and then you reveal a Dark Magician or spell or trap that specifically lists the card Dark Magician among them and add it to your hand. Also place a rest on the top of your deck in any order, and if Dark Magician is normally special summoned to your field, you can target one card your opponent controls and banish it, which is a great effect to be able to use. We then play three copies of Preparation of Rites. Preparation of Rites is great as a 3M in the deck. This card actually searches out your Illusion of Chaos, so this card is the searcher for the searcher. We then play three copies of Red Eyes Fusion. Red Eyes Fusion is an awesome 3M in the deck to help you summon out your copy of Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, and this card is great in the deck as a 3M just to give you an extremely powerful monster on your side of the field. We then play three copies of Soul Servant. Soul Servant is a definite 3 on the build, and this card is absolutely insane. It has the ability to place one card on top of your deck from your hand, deck, or graveyard that is Dark Magician or specifically lists Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl in its text, except another copy of this card. And then during your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard and then draw cards equal to the number of Paladinium monsters Dark Magician and or Dark Magician Girl with different names on the field or in the graveyards, which is a great effect to be able to use with this card, because combo with your copy of Dark Magical Circle, you can actually get the exact card that you need by activating Dark Magical Circle and then chaining this card. You can put any card that you want basically on top of your deck and then grab it with your copy of Dark Magical Circle, as long as it mentions Dark Magician in its text, which is a great effect to be able to use. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, in this particular build, we're only going to be playing 2 traps, and that's going to be 2 copies of Eternal Soul. Eternal Soul is great in the deck as a 2-of, and this card is definitely a 2 in the build, because every Dark Magician in your monster zone is unaffected by your opponent's card effects, and if this face of card leaves the field, destroy all monsters that you control. And this card has 2 awesome effects. You can special summon Dark Magician from your hand or graveyard, or add a Dark Magic attack from your deck to your hand once per turn, which is a great effect to be able to use on this card just to instantly bring back your copy of Dark Magician every single turn to your side of the field, which is absolutely amazing. This card is what the entire deck revolves around, and it's absolutely crazy how powerful this card is. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with a single copy of the Dark Magicians. The Dark Magicians is a definite 1-of in the deck and an awesome card to put on your side of the field. Because once per turn, if a spell or trap card or effect is activated, you get to draw a card. Then if it was a spell or trap card, then you can set it to your side of the field. And if it was a trap or a quick play, you could activate it the same turn it was set. And if this card is destroyed, you can special summon a Dark Magician and a Dark Magician Girl from your hand, deck, or graveyard, which is a great effect to be able to use just to instantly replace this monster with 2 extremely powerful cards. We then play a single copy of Master of Chaos. Master of Chaos is a great fusion monster to play in this deck, because this card has the ability, if it's fusion summoned, you get to target a light or dark monster in your graveyard and special summon it. You can also tribute a light or dark monster, or light and a dark monster, and then banish all monsters from your opponent controls, which is a great effect to be able to use just to banish your opponent's field with this card's effect. We then play a single copy of Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. This card is great to be able to protect your copy of Eternal Soul on your side of the field, so it's a definite 1 of the deck, and this card's name actually becomes Dark Magician while on the field or in the graveyard, which is great about this card. We then play 2 copies of Red Eye's Dark Dragoon. This card is absolutely amazing. This card is a walking negate. It gains 1,000 when it negates something and cannot be destroyed by card effects. Neither player can target this card with card effects, and for every vanilla monster used to make this card, you can pop a monster your opponent controls, and you can actually do burn damage, which is absolutely amazing. This card is a definite 2-of in the deck, and an awesome boss monster to be able to summon in this build. We then play a single copy of Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel is very easy to put on the field in this deck, because your copy of Magician's Rod is a level 3 and Dark Magician is a level 7, so it's very easy to just contact those 2 monsters together into Chaos Angel, because Chaos Angel does not actually require a tuner monster. You just have to use light and dark monsters to summon out this card that equal level 10, which is super easy to do in this deck. We then play a single copy of Red Eye's Flare Metal Dragon. This card is great because every time your opponent breathes, they're going to take 500 points of damage. So this card is a definite 1-of the deck to be able to put on your side of the field and basically just burn your opponent for multiple times of damage every time they activate cards' effects. We then play a single copy of Access Code. Access Code's great as a 1-of in this build to be able to pop multiple cards on the field. It's just an awesome boss monster to make in this deck. We then play a single copy of Blackluster Soldier of Chaos. Soldier of Chaos is awesome in the deck, and this deck is just so nostalgic. You're playing Dark Magician of Chaos, Dark Magician Girl, Red Eye's Black Dragon, and a Blackluster Soldier. This deck is just super nostalgic. Definitely give us a like for this video, but this card is great to be able to put on your side of the field, because if it destroys a monster at battle, you can either make this card gain 1,500 attack points, this card can make second attack during the next battle phase, or banish a card from the field. We then play a single copy of Nightmare Unicorn. This card is great to be able to spin cards off the field. 1 copy of Celine to bring back your spellcasters from the graveyard. 1 copy of the Dark Charmer. This card is just great because most of your monsters in the deck are dark. 1 copy of IP Masquerena to be able to make your copy of Unicorn during the opponent's turn, 1 copy of Imduk just in case you need to turn your copy of Dark Magician into a effect monster, or turn your copy of Dark Magician into a dragon monster so you can fusion summon, which is amazing. And then 1 copy of Artemis. Artemis is great to be able to come with your copy of Magician's Rod to get it all for your side of the field, which is just really insane. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played Dark Magician of Chaos before, you should definitely give this deck a try, because it's just super fun to be able to summon that card to your side of the field. It's extremely nostalgic, and this deck can actually make some really insane boards. I love that this card can actually grab different spells from your graveyard, because it gives you so many powerhouse plays with this card's effect. So that's it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.